You are now listening to the Building Her Dream podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with introverted women entrepreneurs who are building their dream lives and businesses on their own terms. Hosted by business operations strategist, author, and the founder of Building Her Dream, Shayla Burton. To learn more about this podcast and our magazine, visit www.buildingherdream.com. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Building Her Dream podcast. I'm your host and lifelong introvert, Shayla Burton, and I'm so excited to chat with today's guest. She is Shay Smith, a certified nurse practitioner and the founder of Muriel's Publishing House and DesignHer Wellness, all the way from Florida. Hello, Shay. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you for having me, Shayla.
You're welcome. I know that's going to be weird, like almost saying my name when I'm
Right.
speaking to someone. Yeah. But it's very good to have you. Now, I always like to start off with a fun question. I want to just dream a little bit. And so, if you could have your perfect dream life, what would that look like for you?
Um, Perfect dream life.
Yeah.
Um, I would not be waking up with an alarm clock. I would wake up naturally,
Yeah.
wake up with my husband. He would be cooking me breakfast or some type of smoothie or anything. Dream life, actually, we would be on vacation, so he might not even be doing that, to be honest. So we would order in. Um, let's see. I would have a slow morning. So do my devotional, read a little bit of the Bible. I do my Bible app every day, so I don't think that would change in my dream life.
Yeah.
Um, do some reading, some stretches, checking in with the business, make sure it's running smoothly. Really just a life of leisure, to be honest. That's the dream. I don't want to work hard.
Me neither. I just want to relax. And so in my dream life, I would maybe work a couple of days a week. But other than that, I would want to travel and just relax.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 days is enough for me. And the other
Mhm.
two, I could be, out on vacation or I'll still be volunteering and doing community service. That still would be big for me. So, you know, just an easy, soft life, like the girls say.
Yes, yes. Well, I hope you get your dream soon. Like that's what we're working towards. That's what we're working hard for right now so that we can have our dream life. Yeah. Shay, so why don't you kind of just, for the people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about you and the work that you do.
So I am Shay Smith, originally from Miami, Florida, born and raised. I'm currently living in Southwest Florida with my husband. I have a full-time job. I am the Executive Community Health Nursing Director at the Health Department here. I'm dual certified nurse practitioner, so I'm certified as a women's health nurse practitioner as well as adult primary care. Um, I have a doctorate, graduate of Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University, go Rattlers. My business, I have two businesses. The first one is DesignHer Wellness. So that is a boutique women's health clinic. So we specialize in postpartum services, contraception, counseling, STIs, just your general sexual wellness, reproductive health. And then the other business is Muriel's House, and that's my publishing agency where I help inspiring authors publish their first books or second books. And then I also have the coaching aspect where I coach them to either write the book or sell more books.
Wow. So it sounds like you're very busy. You have a 9 to 5 and two businesses. Wow.
Yes, I don't know how to relax.
Right, right. That's what it sounds like. Well, but that's really, really cool that it's keeping you busy. Um, but that's also interesting as an introvert, because we need a lot of time to recharge. And yeah, I'm sure that your businesses keep you going. Um, but let me start with first, when did you realize you were an introvert? Was that something that you knew about like when you were younger, or was it something that you maybe learned about as an adult?
I think I've kind of always known I was introvert, even from young. I never really liked speaking publicly. I have a very soft, low voice, just very shy and, introverted. I didn't know that was the title or the label,
Right.
but that's just always been my personality.
Yeah, same for me. I did not hear of that term until probably like when I was in college, but so I just thought that I was just shy.
Mhm,
And that was like the label that everyone around me put me at, shy or just quiet.
mhm,
But I always knew that I was kind of different from all of the other people around me. Um, or at least they made it seem like I was super different.
yes.
But I was just being myself. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, same.
So,
I'm the eldest of seven kids, and I would
oh,
always be, yeah. They would be outside running around, playing, doing all kind of things, and I would just, be in my little corner reading a book or writing something, not making a ruckus. So that's just always been how I am.
mm-hmm. And how did the rest of your family react to you being so quiet?
Um, I think for the most part, they would accept it. Their big thing was just, having manners and being respectful. So really, as long as I, spoke when I entered the room as respectful to adults, things like that, they pretty much, left me alone. They're like, well, she over there reading. As long as she ain't bothering nobody, it's fine.
Right, right. Yeah, that's good. Did you have like a lot of friends when you were in grade school, or did you just really keep to yourself?
The funny thing is I always had a bunch of friends or a bunch of people around me. And I can't tell you why, because like I said, I was so quiet, but
Hmm.
I just always had a lot of friends.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. I've always had like a couple friends. Like I really just needed one or two people that I really, really liked. Um, and that was good for me up until like my, I want to say early 20s or mid 20s. Yeah, I always just had a couple of friends, but then as I became a entrepreneur, now I know so many more people and I've built stronger friendships because we have like that common thing of
Mhm.
owning a business. Um, and so now I have way more friends than I had when I was a kid,
Mhm.
which I hear a lot of people talk about how it's so difficult to make new friends as an adult. And so they have less friends, but I have more.
That's interesting. See, for me, it's the opposite. I actually have less friends now. It's less,
Hmm.
but they're like my core three. And we don't have
Hmm.
to talk every day or often, but we'll send a text or a call every now and then. We usually just send messages through social media and that's my crew.
Yeah, I have two friends who are not business owners that I've known for a couple decades now. Which I call my best friends, and we don't talk often either. It's like we check in every blue moon, but then when we do get together, we could talk for hours. So we make up for that lost time. But yeah, the people that I talk to on a regular basis now are other entrepreneurs. And so I meet them like doing something like this or on social media. And we just build relationships that way. Yeah. Okay, very cool. So you are in the nursing field. What made you decide that you wanted to start two businesses?
Um, I think I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. My mom has owned several businesses. She's a cosmetologist, and I remember her in one of her shops. She would have us doing specific tasks, or I would sell things. I've always sold things now that I think about it. Because I just like having my own money. I don't like
Mm,
asking. So
right.
even in like middle school, high school, I would sell snacks. So I sold chips and juices and cookies, things like that. Um, I started the clinic because that's my ultimate goal, ultimate dream. I really wanted my own clinic. I really want to have a mobile clinic specifically for teens and young adults, and go into underserved neighborhoods and provide care for them. I'm just starting off as telehealth at the moment. And then for the publishing agency, I needed a creative break. So,
Mm,
like I mentioned earlier, I worked for the health department. And during COVID, I was working crazy hours, 60, 70 hours a week. And my mind just needed a break, something else to do besides look at labs and talk to people. And that's when I created a coloring book called My Patients Made Me Do It. And
mm,
from there, people were asking me to help them create their books. And so after so many times of doing that for free, I was like, well, girl, you could make some money doing this. Um,
yeah.
so I put that on the back burner for a little bit. This was 2001. My aunt, who my agency is named after, she passed away in May. And in
Mm,
memory of her, because she also loved to read and was smart and everything, loved books, I founded Muriel's house in memory of her.
mm.
It's just been rocking and rolling ever since. Just my creative side, since in nursing is really like by the books. This is what you need to do.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, what challenges have you faced with starting your businesses? Like, or what's a major challenge that you've had to overcome as an entrepreneur so far?
I would say the biggest challenge is putting myself out there,
Mm,
showing my face, getting on video, actually speaking. It took me forever to get on Instagram. Finally started Instagram. Started off with like quotes and things like that. And then I got into pictures. And I finally did my reel, or a reel. Somebody forced me to do it. I found trending audios, and I was doing that for the longest. So I'm like, okay, well, I could show my face and do that. And actually, this week, last week, I recorded a video with my face and with me talking. I haven't posted it yet, but it's a step, in the right
yeah.
direction. That's been my biggest challenge so far, just visibility.
Listen, that is all of our challenges. First of all, congratulations on making that reel. So go ahead and post it.
Thank you.
Um, I made my first talking reel last month, and that was only because my virtual assistant told me I needed to do it. So I'm like, okay, let me try it. Um, but yeah, the visibility piece, that's a struggle for all of us. And that was actually why I started building her dream because I have another business that I mostly got my clients from referrals, but I knew like if I wanted to continue growing, I need to get myself out there. And so as I was trying to figure out how to do it in a way that didn't cause me so much anxiety, I was like, you know what, why don't I just create my own platform for women similar to me, who are looking for an opportunity to share their story and their journey and talk about the amazing work that they're doing. And so that's why I created this thing.
And I appreciate you for it.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, definitely that's a challenge that I hear a lot of women say that they have.
Mhm.
Um, but we can do it. We just gotta figure out a way to do it in a way that works for us.
Right, because I really do prefer to be behind the scenes. But I'm starting to realize and accept that I need to be in front of the camera, so other people who look like me can get the message and get the inspiration and get what they need. You can't always, be behind the scenes on everything.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I mean, you could, if you have the money, because then you could hire someone else to be the face. Um,
True.
but yeah, who wants to spend that type of money? So, so we just gotta give it a shot. Um, but yeah. So how do you keep yourself motivated and inspired when you have challenges like this or other challenges?
Um, I would say my devotionals help with that. So in the Bible app, they have like tons of different categories that you can go through. So when I need some motivation, I'll look for like plans that deal with entrepreneurs or authors,
Mm,
wives, things of that nature. And that's like a 3 to 7 day plan. I'll go through that. Um, and then just reading and watching videos about other entrepreneurs,
mm,
mostly Black women who have or may have been in my shoes and how they've made it to 6, 7 figure, 8 figure businesses in some cases. And I recently started working with an entrepreneur named Jasmine Womack, and she talks about how she was very introverted and she had to grow out of that to attain the success that she's attained. So just keeping, those motivational figures, inspirational figures in the forefront kind of helps me just, keep it pushing.
that makes sense. Yeah, I'll have to check Jasmine out. I see her ads all the time on my feed. Yeah. Hmm. So, okay, so you mentioned some challenges. What's a milestone or a recent success that you've had with your business or one of your businesses?
Recent success.
Or a win. It could be it doesn't have to be like a huge, it could be a small win.
Um, So I'll give you two small wins. The first one happened in January, where I completed a coaching certification from Hello 7. So I am now
Mm,
certified in the Hello 7 frameworks as a mindset, money, and business coach. And then more recently, I just finished my first adult book. So I'm in the process of getting that published so that I can launch that in May of this year.
nice. Congratulations on both of those things.
Thank
Now,
you.
what are you going to do with the certification for the coaching?
For that, I'm planning on right now just focusing on authors, so helping them um, publish and sell their books. So
Mhm.
they would need coaching on, how to get their books into the libraries, how to diversify their income, how to get their books into school districts and just, sell more bulk book orders. Because these one-offs are good, but I like a lot of money at one time. So just coaching them on that. And then later on, hopefully, I'll be coaching other healthcare providers on how to open their clinics and provide women's health services.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I wrote a book and it was just one of my like bucket list things to do was to write a book, but it's like, okay, you got this book, now what?
Mhm.
How do you sell it? It's like, ooh, I already struggle with marketing and selling myself and my services. Now I got this book and I got to do the same thing. So, so
You
having a
do.
coach to help with that would have been
Do.
great.
Or you can just a tip, just get you a book team and let them sell it for you.
Mm.
So one of my books is a children's book called I Want to Be a Finer Woman When I Grow Up. I don't
Mhm.
really market that book myself because of the target population. So many people have reshared that book so that I don't even have to mention it. It's selling on its own.
Really?
I think last year I definitely sold over 1,200 copies, and I'm gonna tell you I didn't do anything really. In December I did a push, but after that, no, everyone else pretty much sold it for me.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm. Well, see that taught me something. I didn't know how to do that.
That's
So,
key.
I got a book out there, but it's just out there.
What's your book about?
Business. So, it's called Yes, I Can Help You Transform Your Business with Proper Planning, Processes, and People. So operations is like my background. So that's what I wrote a book to. I think I wrote it because it was something I always wanted to do, but it was also to help those entrepreneurs that who could not afford my services at the time. So the book was only $20. It was a good start to help them in the meantime.
Mhm.
Um, so that's what I wrote it for.
Have you thought about reaching out to colleges in their business programs or entrepreneur program certificates or the small business chamber of commerce, but small business, there's a small business institute, I believe, and then just the little associations of like women business owners, whatever the various names would be.
I did not think of that.
That's your bulk book
I,
orders right there.
I did not think of that. So I'm writing this down right now. Because it's a really good book. I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. It has helpful information in there. I go back and read it sometimes myself when I need a reminder to do some things.
I'm gonna pick that book up.
Yes. Oh, that's cool. So your the program you do for the publishing house, so is it like a writing program now or are you just publishing their books? Like what type of services are you offering?
Right now, I would prefer if the books are already written.
Mm.
That way we could go straight into if you needed editing, and then walking you through the self-publishing process, or I would, just publish it for you.
Mm.
Um, I have helped people write their books. It's mostly been children's books and like guided journals. That's really my sweet spot. But yeah, I prefer if you come with your book already done.
Hmm. Okay. I was just wondering because I've been talking to people lately and they all keep saying, "Oh, I'm writing a book." And so I just thought our listeners might want to know what type of services you offer. Yeah, very cool.
I will say,
Um,
I recently started integrating AI into the business. So while I'm not helping you write your book completely, I do have some prompts to help the wheels get to spinning so that you're not
mm,
starting with the, hopefully not with a complete blank slate. We can at least get your outline done, give you some ideas about what you should do and, fill in the blanks.
right. Okay. Okay. As an entrepreneur, I've been finding that networking and building relationships is, really important to growing your business. Do you do any networking? Like how have you done that for your business?
Um, I attend conferences and trainings. That would be the extent of the networking.
Yeah,
My
I
social
get
media
it.
can't really handle more than that. I went to a conference in January and I stepped out of my comfort zone and actually stayed in the house with other entrepreneurs. Usually
Mm,
I would just get my own hotel room or
mm,
Airbnb and chill by myself. But I stepped out on that. And we're still in contact now. We have a little group chat where we check on each other, check in, make sure we're doing okay.
nice.
Social networking and mixers, I haven't
Yeah.
graduated to that yet.
Yeah, I don't do that. I've tried it because in the beginning stages of my journey, that's what people said you're supposed to do. Go to these networking events, talk to strangers. And so I would force myself to go because people say you gotta step out of your comfort zone. So I would go, but then I don't actually make any real connections because it's just not it doesn't match my personality. Like I go there, I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious. I can't explain what it is that I do properly. Just it's just not a good space for me. And so the networking that I do is kind of like this. So meeting people this way, by chatting with them, or I've met people in my city like one on one because I can handle that. Like I have no problems having a one on one conversation. So that's how I do networking. And when it gets a little warmer, I'm going to try something else is to do a term called like um net walking. So instead of meeting people at a coffee shop or for lunch or something, we'll just go walk in the park and get to know each other, talk business that way. And so I'm gonna try that and see how that goes.
I like that idea. And because then you're working on your physical and mental health at the same time.
Exactly.
Mm,
Yes. Multitasking.
that's good.
And that's really the only way I'm gonna get any real exercise. So
Oh
yeah.
no. Shayla.
It's the sad truth, but yeah. I started hiking last year and actually enjoyed it. And like I'm 41, being outside in nature was never something I was interested in. But my brother got me to try it last year and it's so relaxing. And so yeah, I'm gonna do that more as soon as it gets a little bit warmer. And
What
then
type
I'll
of exercise do you like to do? Well, the answer is probably none. Okay.
none, none, none. So walking, I can walk for hours. And so that's what I was doing, and I was doing that by myself. We have a lot of nice trails, and then I'm also near the lakefront, so lots of really nice scenery. I just got to get more consistent. And so I've decided like, okay, if I make it a business thing as well, like that's another push and force to get me outside exercising.
I might
So
steal that idea. Just
yeah,
FYI.
yeah, absolutely do it because yeah, it's the exercising, but it's also connecting, building relationships with people. It's a little bit of marketing as well. So yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I do exercise, but it's mostly at home using at home
Mhm.
programs. And then sometimes I'll do what I call worship walks in my neighborhood, or I'm listening to obviously worship music or listening to
Yeah.
a sermon while I'm walking because I need to multitask as well.
That's a good idea. I'm not going to tell you what I listen to when I walk, but I probably
No
should change
judgment.
switch it up.
Judgment. I didn't say I do that every time.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah. I listen to music when I walk. I had to listen to music because when you're walking in like secluded areas and then you a squirrel or you hear a tree branch break, I think someone's chasing me. And so I'm like, let me put the music in so I can't hear all of the sounds.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting out there. Um, what else do you do to like recharge? Because you're busy, you're working a lot. How do you get your energy back?
Um, I can't say that I get my energy back, to be
Mm,
honest. But I do try to unwind a little bit by spending time with my husband. So he
okay.
kind of forces me to slow down. So we'll sit on the couch and watch TV or talk. He'll go on a walk with me occasionally. Um, get my energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. If you have some suggestions, I'm open.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about how do I recharge. I feel like I was just having this conversation with someone yesterday. I watch a lot of Netflix or movies and shows, and I thought that was one way that I think that's one way that I recharge. I feel like it allows my brain to rest,
Mhm.
depending on what I'm watching. So, sometimes I'll watch like stuff on Tubi or like just really bad TV shows or movies that aren't really good quality. The writing is bad, maybe the acting is bad, but I can laugh and it doesn't require my brain to do a lot of thinking. And so sometimes I need that. Like I don't want to watch something that requires me to really focus and that has twists and turns. I just want something. Sometimes reality TV is good to help me shut my brain off. So I think that's what I do. Um, and then when I was walking, that was a way to recharge. Um, that's pretty much it. Or I'll be on TikTok scrolling through videos, laughing. Um, and sometimes I read, but yeah,
So
nothing groundbreaking.
yeah, we both need to do better. I will say I'll take a trip occasionally. Although lately it's been like, business trips, so it's not a lot of downtime. But if I could, I would spend a whole lot of time in Puerto Rico. That's my happy place.
Mm, love that. When was the last time you've been there?
January.
Hmm,
But it
what?
was for business, so I still need
Oh, okay.
like a true
Right.
vacation.
Hmm. I've been there once, but that was a long time ago, but it was a good experience. So I would love to go back. Um, I definitely want to do like a retreat or something with building her dream. And so it would mostly be like relaxing.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know when I'm gonna do that. But if I do, like Puerto Rico would probably be on the list of places to go.
It's
Um,
amazing. I
yeah.
always feel like I'm home when I get there, which is weird to say because I'm, just a regular Black girl.
Right.
But I feel like it's home. I've been maybe 6 or 7 times, something crazy like that.
Oh wow.
And it could be just because I feel like it's similar to Miami.
Okay. Probably. Yeah. Hmm. Very cool. Well, what advice would you give to another introverted woman who is thinking about starting her own business?
Um, I would tell her to do what feels good to her. Um, Try to find something that aligns with your personality and not jumping on, the hottest trend or what everyone else is doing, because in the end, you won't be able to sustain yourself. The
Right.
publishing agency works for me because honestly, it's not a whole lot of talking. I can, do that on my downtime on the phone. You may have to
Yeah.
jump on a Zoom call, but it's not a whole lot of people interaction where my energy levels would be drained. And then just make sure you're ready, get you a crew that you can depend on, bounce ideas off of, or just vent. Um, that would be my advice.
Good, good. Very good advice. Yeah. Think I always tell people to um you can listen to other people's advice, but you don't have to do everything that they said because some things works for them and it made them successful, but if you try to do it, it might not work for you. And so you've got to listen, but um adjust based off of you and what you want to accomplish.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, Shay, it has been so awesome chatting with you. Before we go, I wanted to give you an opportunity, if there's anything else you wanted to share, or if you just want to let our listeners know where they can find you if they want to reach out and learn more about you.
So I am on Instagram at Dr. Shay Smith, DrShaySmith. And you should be able to find me, Muriel's House or DesignHer Wellness through there. I'm also on Facebook, same name, Dr. Shay Smith. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
My book is coming out in May. It's called Contraception Combos: Five Essential Conversations to Help Women Plan, Postpone, and Prevent Pregnancy with Confidence. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, we'll check you out on social media and look for your book. Shay, it has been wonderful again chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you to our audience for listening. This has been another episode of the Building Her Dream podcast. If you've enjoyed it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave us a review, and stay up to date with what we're doing by visiting www.buildingherdream.com.